Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, platforms, homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms, homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms, homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dandvatitam Gaganasadisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam. We welcome all our viewers joining us from all around the world. We welcome all KAILASA Vasis attending from all KAILASA monasteries, gurukuls, temples, ashrams, and centers from around the world. We welcome all the Nithyananda TV, KAILASA TV, Hinduism Now TV, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube viewers, and all those who are blessed to join us through the Naina Diksha two-way video conferencing, who are joining us for today's program. We welcome all of you for today's pre-Satsang hosting segment, which will be followed by today's alive Satsang. We'll start with a brief introduction to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of KAILASA, a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism, recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities a lifestyle for humanity. Before the year 1981, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was identified as the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva by spiritual adepts and enlightened masters of Hinduism. In the year 1981, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was initiated into Bala Sannyas as a child monk and performed his first Chaturmasya Vratam or pilgrimage at the age of 3. In 1988, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the future Guru Mahasanidhanam or Pontiff of Thundai Madla Adini, which is the oldest monastic university in the world. On 24th May 1994, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the successor of Arunachala Sarvangapita by Guru Parampara. In the year 1999, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the mission Nithyananda Sangha to revive KAILASA internationally. In the year 1999, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the successor of Kashi Sarvangapita. On 4th November 2002, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded Adi KAILASA Sarvangapita. On 1st January 2004, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as successor of Bhagyanagara Sripura Sarvangapita. On 31st December 2004, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the incumbent emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam of Suryavamsa lineage. In the year 2007, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Adi Pallava Sarvangapita. In the same year, in 2007, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada. On 27th April 2012, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Madurai Shamla Pitha Sarvangapita, the oldest Hindu papal state and monastic kingdom. In the year 2013, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was officially coronated as the Mahamandaleshwar, Supreme Spiritual Head of Mahanirvani Akhada, which is the largest apex monastic order of Hinduism. During his coronation, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was the youngest Mahamandaleshwar. In the year 2013, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of Atal Akhada, the oldest monastic order in Hinduism, by Acharya Mahamandaleshwar Sukadevananda Ji, the then incumbent spiritual. In the year 2014, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Tanjore Adinam. In the same year, in 2014, he was also coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Tiruvarur Adinam and as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Vedaranyam Adinam and as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Panchanadikulam Adinam. In the year 2015, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Dharma Mukti Swargapuram Adinam. In the same year, in 2015, he was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Adi Pitha Kolodamad. In the same year, in 2015, he was elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 spiritual leaders and pontiffs of Hinduism. Now let us look at some of the global initiatives of KAILASA. 28 years of relentless humanitarian services and initiatives, including free vegetarian food, medical services, natural disaster relief, women empowerment initiatives, conflict resolution and peace initiatives, sustainable Hindu practices through various international agencies and bodies. The pictures which we see are a small glimpse of the magnanimous work done by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism throughout this 28 years of relentless hard work and contribution through various international agencies and bodies of KAILASA. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored more than 300 books and written more than 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, which have been translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. Over 20 million copies, books, and articles have been sold, read, and downloaded.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. I welcome you all with my love and respect.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has established the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is revered as most prolific and most viewed guru in the digital world. He is read and watched by over 1 billion followers of Hinduism. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has delivered over 10,000 hours of discourses which have gathered over 1 billion views on social media. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is respected as commentator of all sacred scriptures such as Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Shiva Sutras, Yoga Sutras, Ashtavakra Gita, Jain Sutras, etc. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is honored as leader of Hinduism, the most awarded internationally recognized Hindu leader. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is acclaimed as one of the top 100 spiritually influential living personalities by Watkins' Mind, Body, Spirit magazine. The Sovereign Order of KAILASA, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, and Hindu diaspora are working for global peace and to give super-conscious breakthrough to humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of the largest Hindu university in the world with satellite campuses in 150 countries. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of over 1,000 KAILASA Enlightenment ecosystems.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your 3 eyes.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of over 1,000 KAILASA Enlightenment ecosystem. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the founder and reviver of over 100 ceremonies. With this, we conclude this brief introduction on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, our beloved Guru, Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanitananda, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. We'll be moving on to the next segment in today's Satsang pre-hosting segment. Please stay with us. We'll be back very shortly. Thank you. Nithyananda.
Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side millions are in the platforms homeless. One side tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya. Collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya. Collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya. Collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side, the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty.
Welcome back. In this segment of today's pre-Satsang hosting, we'll be looking at some of the global initiatives of KAILASA. We'll be looking at KAILASA's Ishanya project. Actual truth is, humanity as a modern society, we have already reached a state of technology and infrastructure to provide food, clothing, and medical care for all 8 billion people calling planet Earth home. Unfortunately, our decision makers have not reached the necessary conscious level to make the humanitarian decisions of providing basic needs for all 8 billion people. The survival needs for all 8 billion people doesn't depend on availability of housing and food, but rather on the conscious level of decision makers. It is consciousness we lack, nothing else. So we'll be looking at some of the statistics which makes us understand how our real problem lies not in shortage of food, or not in shortage of medical equipments, or not in shortage of clothing, or not in shortage of home and shelter, but rather it's a lack of having a higher awakened consciousness. That is where we are lacking and our leaders are lacking. So let us look at some of these points. We'll start with food wastage. One side, 1/3 of the global production of food is getting wasted and rotten. Other side, 35 million people are going through food poverty. 1/3 of the food produced in the world for human consumption every year, approximately 1.3 billion tons, gets lost or wasted. Food losses and waste amount to roughly 680 billion US dollars in industrialized countries and 310 billion US dollars in developing countries. 155 million people in 55 countries or regions faced a food crisis in the year 2021. Adding the number has now increased to 265 million due to COVID-19 epidemic. Even if just one-fourth of the food currently lost or wasted globally could be saved, it would be enough to feed 870 million hungry people in the world. And right now, we have 265 million people who are going through food crisis. But even if we save just one-fourth of the food currently lost or wasted, we can feed not only those 265 million people, we can feed actually 870 million hungry people in the world. It shows we have a lot of food. We have to just have an awakened consciousness of us and our leaders to manage this food better. 35 million people are dying from hunger worldwide. A child dies from hunger every 10 seconds. Poor diets are linked to 20% of all deaths worldwide. Now moving on to medical equipment wastage. One side, 5.25 billion US dollars worth of medical equipments are getting discarded versus on the other side, we are not able to provide medical care for 100 million people. US medical waste will attain 5.25 billion US dollars by the year 2027. Among regulated and unregulated clinical waste, around 80 to 85% can be reused. Unused supplies in medical facilities are often discarded unnecessarily rather than stored for later use, adding even more unnecessary garbage being carted away to landfills. Reprocessing industry is saving 15 million pounds of medical waste from landfills and reducing costs to hospitals and surgical centers by over 544 million US dollars. The world's poorest countries are paying some of the highest drug prices, with everyday medicines costing up to 30 times more than in rich nations. Half the world lacks access to essential health services. 100 million still pushed into extreme poverty because of health expenses. Now we'll be looking at clothing wastage. 59,000 tons of clothes are getting wasted on one side, and on the other side, 1 out of 8 children are affected by cloth poverty. 100 million garments, 100 billion garments are produced each year, with 33% going to landfill. Every year, 59,000 tons of used and unsold clothing end up in Chile from all over the world. Every 10 minutes, an estimated 6,000 kilos of clothing and textile are dumped in landfills. 1 in 8 children without basic clothes, 1 billion children worldwide are multidimensionally poor without access to basic accessories. 22,000 children die each day due to inhygiene around the world. Now let us look at vacant homes and shelters. There are 42 million vacant homes worldwide versus homelessness for 27%. The world has millions of vacant homes. 42 million of its 426 million homes are vacant. Roughly 1 in 10 homes in advanced economies are empty. Japan has topped a list of nations with the highest percentage of vacant homes, with 13.6% of its dwellings not lived in. 1.3 million are in Canada. 27% increase in homelessness is likely due to the economic impacts of COVID-19. More than one-third of all people facing homelessness services are women and children. For the last 5 years, core homelessness has been rising year on year worldwide. Homeless people are over 9 times more likely to take their own life than the general population. 78% of homeless people report having a physical health condition, 44% of them having mental health diagnosis, and 41% use drugs and alcohol to cope up with mental health issues. KAILASA's aim is to raise the consciousness level in the world and bring to the fore the real issues facing the world, and through a specialized process of recycling, facilitating the movements of good quality unwanted items from the haves to the haves not. This Chaturmasya, 4 months from July to October 2022 alone, 1 crore people, that is 10 million people, should practice Samadhi to raise their consciousness, and 1 crore people should be pulled out of poverty. This is the mission and vision set by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for KAILASA. There are threefold benefits. For donors, it is a great boon to provide to those in need. For the world, recycling removes a lot of hazardous material from nature, adding to a cleaner environment. For those in need, millions of people around the world will be alive and raised out of poverty, hunger, inadequate health practices due to lack of medical facilities. It is a win-win-win situation. Throughout the last 27 years, Sri KAILASA has built a network of legal entities in 140 countries around the world, holding charity status in 118 of these countries. In many countries, Sri KAILASA's entities are registered distributors as well, meaning we can manage the entire process end to end. We will make full use of this network to collect clothing, medical equipment, and food material from the developed nations, transport them, and distribute it to countries and regions in need, with all transportation and distribution expenses sponsored by Sri KAILASA. Our process involves collection of clothing, medical equipment, and foodstuff from various countries around the world, followed by a quality control and processing of received goods, and finally, distribution of goods, medical quality, and finally, distribution of good quality clothing and medical equipment and food to the countries in need. Now, let us look at some of the impacts of Ishanya project, starting with Madurai, India. 26,800 servings of food offered to homeless and hungry. Jayatinagar, Kilinochi, Sri Lanka. 2,000.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
We apologize for the small technical glitch. Coming back to the Ishanya project, in Madurai, India, almost 26,800 servings of food offered to homeless and hungry people. In Jayatinagar, Kilinochi, Sri Lanka, around 2,000 meals served at the Mahadev Swaminikal Children's Home. In Kotagala region, Sri Lanka, 2,500 articles of clothing donated and distributed. In Hyderabad region, India, weekly Annadan feeding hundreds of poor villagers from around the region. In Tiruvannamalai, Tamil Nadu, India, non-stop day and night Annadan and healing sessions for hundreds of thousands of pilgrims circumambulating the sacred Arunachala Hill. With this, we come to the end of the Ishanya project. We'll be back very shortly. Please stay with us. Thank you. Nithyananda.
Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has
Nithyanandam, welcome back to today's pre-Satsang hosting. In this segment, in this very special segment, we have a guest. We have Srinitya Abhimuktananda Ayya. Welcome, Ayya. He's one of our causing lead. For all of you who don't know about causing is a science of manifesting what you want as reality. When we create an intention, from an intention which is in our inner space to a reality which has manifested in the outer space, the people who are practicing this science to cause realities of others, they are causers. So we have our causing lead, Srinitya Abhimuktananda Ayya, who has been guiding and helping many people throughout the world, especially in India region, and also all over the world in various countries, to manifest their reality, such as manifesting Paramashivoham level 3, or many of the inner awakenings, or many other realities of the world, including even things like some people want to manifest a center, a Paduka center, a temple, or manifest what they want to share with the Sangha or with the society in the world. We saw the Ishanya project, for example. Abhimukta was very actively involved in imparting education to children in downtrodden areas of Mumbai, such as Dharavi. So when we talk about manifesting our reality, it is a multifaceted thing. How we can manifest Ishanya project, for example, in your region, or how we can manifest Paramashivam for you. So it is manifesting a reality both in your inner world, in the outer world, and also in life of others. All the 3 dimensions put together. Now, in this very special segment, we'll be looking at some of the scientific, we'll be discussing some of the scientific realizations which science is catching up with the Vedic revelations, with the revelations of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which our beloved Guru, Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam, is revealing from almost past 2 decades. And now only science is catching up and sharing. And we'll be discussing with Sri Abhimukta Ayya how our participants of Paramashivoham level through are also going through those experiences and how it is matching. So we have science at one part, how it is matching with the Shastras, how it is matching with the teachings of Swamiji, how it is matching, and finally, how it is matching with the experiences of Paramashivoham level 3 participants who are Sakshis, who are living evidences that the science works. So we will be going through all these 4 pramanas and we'll be having some participants, some Paramashivoham level 3 participants sharing their experiences and enriching us how the science of living enlightenment works, how the Paramashivoham works. So we'll be looking at this every day, segment by segment. Today we'll give a brief overview of this. We'll be discussing about it. The science of creating intention. Our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has elaborately told us to manifest Paramashivam. What we need is we need to create an intention. All we need is to create intention, and second is will persistence. Now, looking at the part of creating intention, how science has highlighted this. Today, I'll be discussing this. Then Avimuktaya will be sharing some experiences, his experiences with manifesting his reality and reality, how he saw the participants are manifesting. And we'll be also looking at some participants sharing how just creating an intention, they have been so successful. So right now we'll start with how manifesting reality is possible just by intention. What does science say about it? There were many experiments done in the past 3 decades by various scientists. Earlier, for example, it was believed that we are actually, our DNA decides who we are, how we behave, and what we do. For example, if blood cancer or let's say some kind of disease runs in my family or anybody's family, we have a default expectation or misbelief that we are also prone to that. This is one of the common feeling. But recently, science discovered that we are not the servants of our genes. We can change our genes. We can consciously manipulate or give a breakthrough to our genes. And this is the science of epigenetics. It was done elaborately. There was a period where science resisted it. And then officially a term was given to it, which is called epigenetics. And we find elaborate experiments which have explained how it works. I'll give a short overview of it. Our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has revealed from the Hindu scriptures that the Chit, Jagat Granthi, the knot of matter and consciousness, how the consciousness is tied to matter, that is the DNA, through sound. Now, what it means? How does the science see this revelations from the Vedic Hindu tradition, Vedic Sanatana Hindu Dharma? How does science understand it? Basically, our genes are a totality of millions of years of natural selection plus millions of years of conscious breakthrough, conscious selection process. What it means is, as human beings, as living beings, as animals, as birds, our DNA can be altered. Any animal, any being, any human being can alter his DNA based on the requirement of the time. For example, 5 times life has been destroyed on planet Earth. Like very recently, I mean, in terms of the life of the planet Earth, very recently, Around a million years ago, one comet fell in Mexico that killed all the dinosaurs. But somehow our ancestors survived. That is why the monkeys continued and humans continued. Now they were able to adapt to the conditions on planet Earth even after the comet fell. But the dinosaurs died because beings, all animal beings, have the ability to alter their genes according to the situation. For example, when we are in fear, our genes are like a ladder usually. It's like two lines connected with joining ladder steps, and it is twisted. That is our gene structure. When we are in fear, the twist is more and the genes get locked. But when we are in love, when we are in gratitude, when we are in awakened state, it opens up and it becomes more like a ladder. When we are in more fear, it is getting twisted and shrunk. When we are in higher state of awareness, it is getting opened up. So what is happening? Various places where it is locked and disabled, those genes get unlocked and we start expressing certain abilities. This is called epigenetics. How, based on situations, we can switch off and on our DNA. How do we do that? We do it by creating a sankalpa, by a conscious resolution. A comet fell from the sky. Our ancestors made a conscious declaration. I have to survive. I have to progress. I have to live. I have to manifest my Paramashivatva. And they decided and they unlocked a gene and expressed it. Like this, there are millions of genes, out of which 97% of the genes by science are understood as junk genes. They are not actually junk genes. They are superpowers. There are more than 400 superpowers locked in this 97% of the genes which science considers as junk genes. They don't know what it does. It is just there. Nature cannot be putting those genes just like that. These are the superpowers which are expressed in crisis situations or in need, or when we are simply having the capability of manifesting our reality. Like when the comet fell and the beings need to survive, they need to evolve, they need to change. So the intention which we create, the sankalpa, that thought which goes around in our inner space, that is the sound. That sound of our intention, our sankalpa, gets recorded in our DNA by as a on or as a off in our DNA. This is conscious selection and natural selection. Our life is our genes are a totality of both. So what we are today is a totality of millions of our ancestors putting their sankalpa, their prayers, their intention into our genes totally. And that's how we came here. That is where how science is understanding how the Chit and Jagat Granthi exist, how consciousness and matter are linked with sound, which has been explained by our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and how science is catching up, how sound is influencing the DNA, how our intention is influencing the DNA and our outcome and our life. So it is the same science how people with their sankalpa, with their conscious resolution, are able to manifest extraordinary capabilities and realities, not just in their DNA, but even in the outside. That is the next level science, which Avimukta will be sharing. Today we are out of time, but if Aya, you could share a few examples and we could lead our viewers to the next session where we'll be having guests and we'll be studying this science in various ways. Could you please share your insights, Aya, on this?
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Sarvesh, and Nithyanandam to everyone. So it's I'm just taking a point what Sarvesh Maharaj was talking about, the intention. So so it's all about, as beautifully he was saying, what is causing. Swamiji called them as we are a co-creators. What is co-creators? Co-creators are the one For example, a normal man, normal human being wanted to create something in the life. Sometimes he knows, he fully knows, or he half knows, or vaguely knows, whatever the way. So, if you see the most of the human life running a rat race outside, what they want to manifest, we are talking to hundreds and hundreds of people in our casting time. So we all understand, we wanted to ask them, what you want to manifest. Most of the time, they will say something, but in depth, something will be there. What is the quick difference I wanted to tell all of you is, there are so many positive talkers. If you see, the market is full of people giving a positive talks, these and that. What is the difference between them and what Swamiji is giving? That's a one point I wanted to drive it today. All of watchers, please listen this carefully. I think when you are watching this, when you are living, I know that you must be a devotee of Swamiji, or you must have seen this casually, or you may be seeing it in future this also. Underlying current of every human being is knowing the purpose of the life. This we may not be knowing it. Before I come to Swamiji, before 12 years, I wanted to create something in my life, maybe a better business. In fact, I was amazed with the way Swamiji built up his institution. I was amazed with the way Swamiji is blissfully conducting all this stuff. I was amazed with the way he is acquiring the knowledge and distributing to the people. It was amazing the way he managed himself so beautifully in the crisis, right? So a human comes and get attracted to Swamiji in a different way. So first, what Swamiji is trying to do, that is, he is declaring, we are all as a causer declaring ourselves as a co-creators for their life. First, the element of what they wanted to achieve in the outer world. You may want to have home, or you want to have a better job, you want to have a better boss, you wanted to do anything at the outer world. Maybe you want to have a better relationship. So every point of time, human has certain requirements, certain needs, certain wants, whatever it is. So how he can infuse the energy and make it that happen in a right way. That's where 95% of the Swamiji's programs, all content, program, solution, it's completely Hinduism based. Everyone has a Sastric Pramana support. It has so much Sakshi Pramana already done. It has healed millions and millions of people. It has generated for millions. So you know that when you switch on, light is going to bulb and the fan is going to on. Like that, you can assume that Swamiji made is completely all the spiritual science to work for him. Number one. Second, we act as a co-creator, means we understand the science and take this science to the masses and help them to achieve what they want to do. As Ramakrishna Paramahamsa nicely said, first the guy stomach has to be filled in before talking spirituality. So that is why projects like Ishanya and all things are coming. So that he's not talking about few person in few geographic. Swamiji solutions are for a cosmic level solutions. He's for talking for all billions. I'm very clear. It's not about 2 billion Hindus. He's talking for all billions human beings and non-human beings also in this globe. So even he's talking for vegetarianism, so that even other beings also saved and have a very better, peaceful life. So yeah, we are a co-creators, and we take the science and we impart to the people and see to that they are arriving at a better life for them. That's what we are talking about. So so only one point I drive here is, you may have a lot of queries. You may be wondering what you want to achieve. One question I want to leave today is, what you want to manifest in your life. If you're watching online, you can post this question to me, so I'll try to address it tomorrow. Okay, if today I'm just a little running out of time, so surely I will address today. What do you want to address? What do you want to manifest in your life? It can be a smallest thing, it can be a biggest. There's nothing called small or big. Probably you may decide that you want to have a home, or you may say that I want to have a better health, or I want to have an enlightenment. all thing I will be responsible as a causing lead, as I will be responsible as a co-creator. I'll help you take up Swamiji solutions, apply that, and you are walking ahead and coming to Swamiji and achieving what you want. This was happened to me. This has happened to millions. It will happen to you also. Okay, so with that note, I'm leaving you. Thank you so much, Sarvesha. Please post in the comment that what you want to manifest. So in coming segment, we will be seeing how to manifest that. What are the spiritual solution for it? We'll be listening from few people how they manifested through Swamiji solutions. Okay, with that, let me end. Thank you, Sarvesha Maharaj. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Abhimukta. And I hope all our viewers must be as excited as I am and looking forward to our future sessions where we'll be having all the four levels of revelation, from the scientific level, from the Hindu scriptures level, from experiences of our participants, and from the experiences of our causes at all different levels, how we can manifest our reality and what our reality is. It will be very exciting to see the science work in action with real examples, with participants coming and sharing their breakthroughs. It is always something which gives us a strong belief, yes, we can make it happen. Now, we'll be moving on to the next segment, that is today's Alive Satsang. So now, let us all sit straight with our head, neck, spine in a straight line, with our hands together in front of our heart, and let us chant the Mahavakya to receive our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam, in the upcoming Alive Satsang. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om.
Let you all open all your three eyes.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda. Om Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivasamarambam. Nithyanandeshwari Paramashivashaktimadhyamam. Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam.
I welcome you all with my love and blessings. I welcome all the living, practicing Hindus from all over the world, de facto Kailasians. I welcome all the Sarvanya Pita Kartas, Yajaman, ministers, ambassadors, diplomats, citizens, consulate generals, Mantreshwara, Vidyeshwara, Ganeshwara, Lokeshwara, Astreshwara. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from KAILASA. Listen. There is a space where time is not past, present, future. It is just ease. The pure easiness forms the basis of existence of time. In that time, which is only ease, there is no past, present, future. Past, present, future, all is ease. In that space, Paramashiva manifested all his 64 forms for various leelas. For example, Lingodbhava manifested to establish the supremacy of Paramashiva. Paratva of Paramashiva, Shiva Paratva, is established by Lingodbhava by showing Brahma and Vishnu their space and their manifestations. Listen. But the Lingodbhava can never be called as was. At that time, Lingodbhava manifested. You can't say Lingodbhava is. Kalabhairava manifested to remove the ego of Brahma, to remove one head, the ego head of the Brahma. Actually, we can't use the word manifested. He is manifesting still now, will be manifesting forever. Because the space where Paramashiva manifested as Kalabhairava, as Lingodbhava, does not have past, present, future. Listen. The space from which Kalabhairava manifested the space from which Lingodbhava manifested. For example, one more example. Veerabhadra manifested Paramashiva manifested as Veerabhadra to kill Daksha, destroy Dakshayanya. Actually, we can't say he manifested and disappeared. No, we can't use that word. He is manifesting. Paramashiva manifested as Kalakala, Mrityunjaya. He killed Kala, death, for Markandeya and stood as Kalagala. We can't say this in past tense because he is still there. He manifested in a space where there is no past, present, future. It is just simply present. You need to understand that space you need to understand. Only then you will understand the 64 different manifestations, superconscious mutation of Paramashiva. Understand? Even if you intellectually understand the superconscious mutations of Paramashiva, you will manifest him. You will celebrate him. You will enjoy him. You will be alive. And you yourself will experience the very manifestations of Paramashiva in your existence. See, Paramashiva manifested as Dakshinamurti to teach Veda and Agamas to Targavana rishis. It's not that it was a past. If you become silent to free yourself from the past, present, future through unclutching, you can see he is teaching even now in that huge cosmic sound. Om, even recorded by NASA. That soundless sound, Anahata Dhvani. Om. If you can hear it through the deep unclutching, you can see Dakshinamurti teaching you now. Dakshinamurti teaching you now. Paramashiva manifested as Ardhanarishwara to give darshan to Bringi Maharshi and to teach the whole universe. Devi is always one with him. She is in oneness. Shakti is not separate. So, each of the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva is one expression, one superconscious manifestation one of the superconscious mutation of Paramashiva in his various manifestations. I should say superconscious mutation manifestation of Paramashiva is countless. All these manifestations are beyond time. I am talking about 64 because he revealed 64 to planet Earth for all of us to know. But surely there's a lot more. For all of us, what we need to know is revealed. Understand? First, meditate and try to understand there is a space without past, present, future, just is. Past, present, future is nothing but time cognized by the mind, which can cognize only small things, which cannot cognize the pure isness. When you are agitated and restless inside, you cognize only small things. Kanda, kanda, kanda. Small, small, small. When you are peaceful, unclutched, powerful inside, you see akanda, unbroken, which has no pieces, pure akanda. That is why in Hindu tradition, time is always shown as circular, not linear. It is circular. Soon the world will realize the linear idea of time may be useful for history documentation, but in reality, if you want to understand time, use the time as one of the strength for civilization. You need to understand the circular existence of time. Listen. For your day-to-day building a house or surveying the land, the idea earth is flat is useful. But to understand the whole universe, the idea earth is flat is insufficient. You need to come to the truth, earth is globe. Same way, to record history, understanding time as a linear movement may be useful. But to understand time in reality, realizing time is circular, and time there is no was, will, time is. Time is. If you cognize that, you will understand Dakshinamurti is manifesting now. Paramashiva is manifesting as Linga now. As a Linga Murti now. Paramashiva is manifesting as Lingodbhava Murti now. Understand? All you need to enjoy the powers and superconscious mutation of 64 manifestations of Paramashiva is to have the right knowledge about all that 64 manifestations. You need to understand Paramashiva as he introduces himself. Listen, if you want to understand me, you need to understand as I introduce me to you. You can't understand me with your own independent investigation. Neither your mind is capable nor your consciousness is powerful to grasp my existence as it is. You can only understand my existence as per my introduction. Same way, you can understand Paramashiva only based on his own introduction. Understanding him based on his own introduction awakens something called Shraddha in you, not faith. Faith is poor word. Shraddha. And Shraddha breeds bhakti. And all the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, auspicious qualities of Paramashiva starts manifesting in you. Powers of Paramashiva starts manifesting in you. Listen, you just need to know what is swimming and see somebody is swimming, then simply your muscle memory starts manifesting swimming. Same way, you just need to know about the superconscious mutations of Paramashiva and see someone manifesting it. Your muscle memory, bioenergy, all will just pick up. And simply you will enjoy superconscious mutation of Paramashiva. So today I am trying to introduce the principles of superconscious mutation of Paramashiva and the 64 manifestation which he himself introduces in Veda and Agamas. I'll introduce one by one. Listen intensely. Even if you missed, watch this satsang again, because this satsang is not was, it will be is forever. You can replay and watch. It is not was, is or will be. It is. What Paramashiva manifested as Dakshinamurti to Sanakadi Rishis, what he revealed as Uma Maheshwara to Uma Parvati, now I am revealing to all of you the same, from that same isness, tatata. So receive, replay, internalize, and start manifesting. Lingamurti, this whole universe, even NASA says now, they are very clear, the whole universe in the form of linga. Trillions and trillions and trillions of Brahmanda as manifested as linga. Next, Lingodbhava. Paramashiva manifests as Lingodbhava, Arunachala, to resolve the conflict between Brahma and Vishnu and establish the real truth about the supremacy. Next, he manifests as Mukhalinga, means linga with 5 faces of Sadashiva: creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, and liberation. Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirobhava, Anugraha. These 5 faces of Paramashiva manifesting in linga, Mukhalinga. Next, Sadashivamurti. The same 5 action of Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirobhava, Anugraha. Creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, and liberation. In the form with 5 heads, 10 hands, and 15 eyes, he manifests as Sadashivamurti. Listen. Listen very sincerely, intensely. The introduction I am giving for each Murti is directly from Agama, as he introduced himself in Vedas and Agamas. I am just giving you English translation. All you need to do, sit with unclutched space and listen. You can see that very manifestation now in present. This whole Paramashivoham level 3, all I am trying to do is put this superconscious mutation in you. full 21 days, what I am trying to do elaborately, I am trying to do in this 3 hours webinar. 3 hours, I can say 5 hours webinar. If you just listen intensely, as he revealed himself, you can experience now. Sadashivamurti. Next to Sadashivamurti is Mahasadashivamurti. Listen. Mahasadashivamurti is 25 dimensions together. Understand first this 5 dimension of Sadashivamurti. Creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, liberation. Actually, you are doing these 5 actions every day. Every day you create some part of your body newly, some part of your muscle memory newly, some part of your biomemory newly, some part of your bioenergy newly. And every day you do sustenance of your body, mind, being. Every day you do rejuvenation. Millions of cells die and millions get newly generated, replenished, rejuvenated. If you just understand this, you will see all, including cancer in your body, will be healed. Just understand this one dimension of Paramashiva. Every cell dying in your body, every cell newly creating in your body, that samhara is not ordinary destruction, it is rejuvenation. Anyone who meditates on Rudra, Lord of Samhara, will be free from all types of cancers. All types of cancers. Mukta, make sure your dad is sitting for the session. I'm not seeing him in the camera. Make sure he's on the camera. Listen. If you want Nitya Yavana, eternally to remain young, beautiful, handsome, meditate on Rudra. Rudra is Paramashiva's manifestation of rejuvenation. So understand, if you understand you are doing every day rejuvenation in your body, not only you will heal yourself from all disease, you will ever be young, energetic, beautiful, because you will not allow the tiredness, boredom to settle down in your body. If you want to be eternally young, beautiful, meditate on Rudra. Invoke Rudra in your inner space. That is why in Hindu tradition, the people who worship Rudra, connect with Rudra and become eternally young and beautiful are called Rudraganyas. You need only one understanding. You are the one who is rejuvenating. Same way, you should know you are the one who is deluding yourself. The agitation, any form of agitation, any form of perturbed restlessness, agitation is you putting yourself in delusion. Understand? Whenever you are agitated, deluded, restless, powerless, all you need is hold unclutching. Unclutching is the Trishula of Paramashiva. Just hold the unclutching. The greatest Shivastra, Pashupatastra, is unclutching. Hold, unclutching, and settle down from the delusion, agitation, powerlessness. You will simply enter into liberation, anugraha, moksha. Mukta, you can create a new window for him. You can give one more connection. He doesn't need to get up from the bed. He can, but I want to see him and I want him to see me. You can get one more connection. Listen. All of you listen. If you understand the 5 action, Panchakritya, Srishti, creation, Sthiti, sustenance, samhara, rejuvenation. Trobhava, delusion. Anugraha, liberation. Listen. If you understand all these five, if you understand all these five is happening in your very body, mind, every day, connect with that source energy which is doing that every day in you. That is Rudra. And bow down to that Rudra every morning. Oh Mahadeva, Paramashiva, oh Rudra, you are here. Doing this great rejuvenation in me. I trust your decision. I trust you. Please be intensely alive in me. Keep me eternally young by rejuvenating me. I tell you, listen carefully. Listen intensely. Simple, ordinary connection with Rudra energy, with Rudra who is present. Understand? Rudra is not past. He is present. He is actually just now watching over me and making sure I utter the right word which creates right introduction about himself in all of you. He is sitting right now in my tongue and moving, making me utter right words. So you all understand Rudra properly in your inner space. Actually, if you are going through any disease or your family, especially your own DNA, like your own father, mother, grandmother, grandfather, or any of your own blood relation going through any serious illnesses, just sit next to them. See, if you are going through, sit with yourself and see how the Rudra is working. And because you never recognize the Rudra's work due to your delusion and agitation, you feel you are falling into destruction and death. If you just sit and watch yourself or them going through Rudra, actually you will also understand the power of Rudra. You will even heal them. Suhas, sit with your grandfather and you try this as a meditation. See how Rudra is rejuvenating in his body and how Rudra is doing his work in his body. One, you will understand the power of Rudra. Not only you will manifest the power of Rudra, you will even be able to help him and heal him and rejuvenate him. I tell you, usually, when you start all these meditation or connecting or these higher manifestations, when you yourself going through some physical disease, it will be a little difficult. That time you need my grace directly. Directly, I need to intervene and lift you. But if some of your relatives, blood relatives are going through, sit with them and see. That will actually awaken Rudra in you. It will help you and the other person, both. So it will be all a very powerful manifestation. Somebody is asking, Swamiji, what is the best Rudra mantra to invoke Rudra? See, in Samaya Diksha, the mantra you get, I'll give Samaya Diksha now itself to all of you. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. This is the best mantra to manifest all 64 manifestations of Paramashiva. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. 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 Now listen. The next form is Mahasadashiva Murti. Paramashiva with his 25 dimensions. See, these 5 aspects like a creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, delusion, liberation. These 5 into 5. I'll explain, listen. Creation getting created. Creation getting sustained. Creation energy getting rejuvenated. Creation energy put into delusion and pulled out of delusion. Creation energy liberated. Liberation. Creation goes through, creation energy goes through these 5. Same way, sustenance energy goes through the 5. Sustenance energy getting created, getting sustained, getting rejuvenated, getting deluded, getting liberated. Same way, rejuvenation energy getting created, getting sustained, getting rejuvenated, getting deluded, and getting liberated. 25 phase of Paramashiva. Listen. This 25 phase, even if you understand intellectually and start connecting, he will simply manifest in you because he is. Right now, he is sitting with all the auspicious, joyful, blissful, kolagala, nityotsava, swarupa in Maha Kailasa and manifesting through me, through the right words and body language and the superconscious energy, and initiating all of you right now. Even if you just internalize and understand, you will connect with him right now and manifest his all superconscious mutations in you verily. Paramashiva, in his Maha Sadashiva Murti manifestation, who is the Lord of Maha Kailasa, with 25 heads, 75 eyes, 50 hands, Sarva Mangala, Sarva Atsarya, Sarva Swatantra, Sarvanyatva, Ananta Kalyana Gunaswarupa, Tejomaya, Swayam Prakas, in his form is alive. Listen, you are introduced by him about him now. He is introducing himself about himself to you right now. So, just sit and receive. Kailasa Vision team has done a beautiful job of collecting all these 64 manifestations and naming it in English for you to connect. When I describe, you can easily connect. I know, surely within these 5 hours, all the 64 explaining all the 64 manifestations may not be possible, but at least I'll give a simple introduction and connect. So you can all start getting the glimpse. For now, The next form of Paramashiva Uma Maheshwara Murti. This is the manifestation Paramashiva teaching Vedas and Agamas, revealing Vedas and Agamas to himself, Paramashiva Shakti. This is the form we worship in Adi Kailasa in Bangalore and Paschima Kailasa in Los Angeles. In both Adi Kailasa in Bangalore and Paschima Kailasa in Los Angeles, both places, this form is only worshipped of Paramashiva. He, having Devi in his lap, revealing Vedas and Agamas to Devi with a tremendous love, care and blessings. The next form is Sukhasanamurti. Again, he is also manifested mainly for teaching Vedas and Agamas and giving the grace not only to Devi, along with Devi to everyone. That is why in this form, the Devi and he both will be sitting in Samasana on the Sarvanya Pita of Kailasa. He and Devi both will be sitting on Samasana. In Uma Maheshwara Murti, Devi will be sitting on his lap. Now, Devi will be sitting in Samasana with him because along with Devi, he graces the whole universe. That is Sukhasana Murti. Next form, manifestation, is Umesha Murti. In this Murti also, he graces to the whole universe along with Uma. So, he is called Umesha Murti. Next form is Somaskanda Murti. This manifestation is with Uma and Skanda. Somaskanda Murti means Soma, Asi, Skanda. Soma means Paramashiva himself. Asi means his own Devi, his own manifestation in the female form. Paramashiva Shakti, Devi, Asi. Skanda, his own manifestation, Subramanya. So all the three together is Somaskanda Murti. This form is the largest worshipped form of Paramashiva almost in all temples. See, the first will be Linga form. Next will be the Somaskanda Murti form. He receives all the Utsavas, Brahmotsavas, almost in all temples. So he is the most popular form of Paramashiva, most worshipped superconscious mutation of Paramashiva, Somaskanda Murti. The next, Chandrasekhara Murti. The Paramashiva manifested to save moon, Chandra. And this is the Chandrasekhara Murti. Next, Vrishabharuda Murti. Paramashiva sitting on Rishabha. is Vahana with Devi. He is the Rishabharuda manifestation of Paramashiva. Next is Vrishabhantika Murti. He leaning, standing next to Rishabha, leaning on Rishabha in a very unique way. It's a very beautiful form. If you go to Los Angeles temple, in the entrance, you will see this form, because this is exactly the form he gave me a darshan in my old quarters in Biddi. So I made this form, Rishabhandagar, and wanted to install there, but I sent it to Los Angeles, thinking that I will make another one for Los Angeles. In the reception, if you see, he will be standing tall. That deity is Rishabhantaka Murti. Still, his Rishabha has not reached Adi Kailasa. Sorry, Paschima Kailasa. Rishabha is also made. It is there in Adi Kailasa. That has to be brought and assembled. But that Rishabhantaka Murti is there in Paschim Kailas. I think still Rishabha has not yet got the visa. He has to get the visa and come. Next form. Bhujanga Lalita Murti. Listen. This whole universe rests in Paramashiva, on him. Paramashiva reveals this truth to the all the living beings. In him, everything resides. That manifestation of that superconscious truth is Bhujanga Lalita Murti. Next. Bhujanga Trashamurti. It is like he stands tall. Listen to this truth. He stands tall even during the Mahapralaya, when everything is destroyed, everything actually merges inside him, rests in him. See, even when the universe is manifested, that stays on him. That is described by Bhujanga Lalita Murti. Even during the Pralaya, everything goes in him, is demonstrated by Bhujanga Trashamurti. Next. Sandhya Nrittamurti. See, Sandhya means the day and night meeting, and destruction, pralaya, and creation meeting. For you to understand roughly, you can roughly understand as Ice Age. During every Ice Age, he dances the cosmic dance. That is called Sandhya Tandava. Listen. Whenever you feel everything in your life is falling apart, suddenly business is collapsing, wife is leaving, and kids are not listening to you, it's almost like your whole life is going. What do you think as your life is going? Health is failing. Whenever you feel that pralaya is happening in you, meditate on this Sandhya Nrittamurti. Invoke him. Mahadeva, you are doing your Sandhya Nritya in my life. Just show me you are doing the Sandhya Nritya. That's enough. He will simply manifest auspiciousness in you. Listen. He just wants you to know he is doing Sandhya Tandava in your life. If you recognize it, you will say, all right, come on. Now it is time. Let's start the creation. Let the new yuga start. Let the new universe manifest. Let the new life manifest. If you want new life to manifest in you, connect with Sandhya Tandava Murti. Nritta means Tandava. Sandhya Nritta Murti. Tandava goes through certain discipline. Nritta is beyond all discipline. So, if you feel things are falling apart in your life, connect with Sandhya Nritta Murti. Mahadeva, Paramashiva, I know you are doing Sandhya Nritta in me. Just reveal that you are doing Sandhya Nritta, so I'll be in peace. That's all. He will feel very shy. Hey, this fellow caught me. Now he knows my Leela. Okay, come on. All right. I'll create the new life for you. I'll manifest new life for you. Delusion will delude you as long as you have not recognized the delusion is deluding you. The moment you recognize delusion is deluding you, it can no more delude you. Delusion cannot delude you the moment you recognize delusion is deluding you. Actually, even this Sandhya Nritta Murti we have in Seattle Temple. Seattle Temple, we have not only the huge Nataraja, Ananda Nataraja, we have some more dancing forms of Shiva. I think we have done some, that 108 dancing forms of Shiva and sent to different temples few deities, few forms. So Seattle has Ananda Tandava, as in Chidambaram, and Sandhya Nritta Murti, and even Los Angeles has few more Tandavas of Paramashiva's forms. So connect with this superconscious mutation, Sandhya Nritta Murti. You will realize nothing is falling apart, everything is falling in place. If you know Paramashiva, you will know everything falls in place. If you don't know Paramashiva, you may be deluded thinking everything is falling apart. The next Murti of Paramashiva, Sada Nritta Murti. He dances during creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, delusion, liberation. In all the Panchakrityas, he does Sada Tandava. He is called Sada Nritta Murti. This Swami is also called Ananda Tandava. if the Devi form is not attached, is called Ananda Tandava. If the Devi form is also attached, is called Sadanritta Tandava, Sadanritta Murti. In Seattle earlier we had only Ananda Tandava, means only Paramashiva dancing. Then we added the Devi Murti. Now is Sadanritta Murti. Connect with Sadanritta Murti to have everything. He will give you creation related powers, sustenance related powers, rejuvenation related powers, delusion related powers like pulling out of delusion, everything, and liberation related powers. Sadadandava Murti, Sadanritta Murti. Sadanritta Murti. Actually, I wanted to build a temple for all the 64 manifestations in US. That is why that time itself, in 2001, I started carving all these deities. The Uma Maheshwara Murti I carved is sitting in Ohio. See, if you see Paramashiva in San Jose, he will be having fire and Damaru. But if you see Ohio Paramashiva, he will be having Man and Maru, deer and the Maru. These two in his hand. Because he is carved as per the Agama of Uma Maheshwara Murti. The sixth form I explained to you, that is the form we worship in Ohio. And Sadanritta Murti is in Seattle. Maybe all the present temples can take the responsibility and make the 64 temples in US to bless the whole US. All the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva should have a temple in US. The Houston Linga is called Mukha Linga. The Kalahasti Linga, you will see the top of the Linga will have all the faces of Paramashiva, Muha. So each of the deity, if you see in the temples, Paramashiva temples we built in US, will have one manifestations of these 64 forms of Paramashiva. The next, Chandatandava Murti. This is one of the powerful dance where Mahadeva and Devi both dancing. Seeing this only, the Arunagiri, the great sage from Tiruvannamalai, Arunagiri Nadar, not Arunagiri Yogeshwarar. Arunagiri Yogeshwarar is Paramashiva himself. Arunagiri Nadar sings, Adala Seta Narada, Agilamer Midada, Abinagali Tanada, Avalodan, Adiravisi Vadadum, Vidayileru Varada, Arugubuda Vedalam, Avayada, Adala Seta Narada. It's a very beautiful description of dance happening in KAILASA. How Paramashiva is dancing and Mahakali is dancing. Arugubhuta Vedalam Avayada, all the Bhutas, Vedalas, Pretas of Paramashiva dancing, all of them jumping. It's a very beautiful Tiruppugal where Arunagirinadar had the darshan of Kailasa, Maha Kailasa, and describes it. Atala Seda Narada, Agila Meru Midada. Such beautiful description. This Chanda Dandavamurti, if you connect with him, you will experience raw bliss. Raw bliss in all the aspects of Paramashiva. A real raw bliss, wild bliss will manifest in you if you connect with Chanda Tandava Murti. Next, Gangadhara Murti. This is the manifestation where Paramashiva receives Ganga from Satyaloka in his jata and releases to Bhuloka in a very protected way. If the Ganga comes with all her power, the planet Earth will not be able to sustain it. Same way, if the Ganga is not there in the planet Earth, it will dry up, it will go without water. So Paramashiva does the job of transformer. He receives it and gives to the level which is needed. A real conscious water management system for the universe is Paramashiva himself. His jata is a real water management system, conscious, super conscious water management system. Next, Ganga Visarjana Murti. This is the form through which he releases Ganga. The earlier form, Gangadhara Murti, is receiving Ganga from Satyaloka, Brahmaloka. Ganga Visarjana is releasing Ganga to the Bhuloka. Next, Tripurantaka. This is the form in which he opened his three eyes. The manifestation as Tripurantaka, he opened three eyes and burnt Tripurasuras. The three demons who had three worlds for themselves. He burnt all of them just through opening the third eye. So, this manifestation is Tripurantaka Murti. If you want to destroy negativity, invoke him. Invoke Tripurantaka Murti, he will destroy it. Next, Kalyana Sundara Murti. This is the form with which he married Parvati And Meenakshi, whenever he marries the incarnations of Parvati, he assumes Kalyana Sundara Murti form, comes and marries. This is a powerful manifestation. If you invoke him, all the relationship related issues will be cleared. He will bring completion all the relationship related issues. He is the manifestation of the most powerful superconscious relationship. Maybe I'll give you a small break. Then I'll reveal the truths about the Navakanda Yoga and how that helps to understand all the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva. I don't think just in one webinar we can receive all the 64 manifestations, because even to give a simple introduction to 64 will take at least 10 hours. So today I introduce the principles of this 64 manifestation. And I will reveal the core principle of Navakanda Yoga. I will reveal the Navakanda Yoga, which is the foundation principle of all the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva. So you can understand all the 64. So let's gather for next session. Be blissful. Blessings. Blessings. Be blissful. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms, homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean, because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms, homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided KAILASA is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring